Hey guys, welcome to Game Dev Tip number 3. I am Simon Hasten from SHD Games. What we're going to talk about today is making a gunshot sound effect. Now, I'm not the best audio expert in the world, but I'm going to do my best to show you guys my process on how I would make a gunshot, and we're going to do it for this gun here. This is from the game Sierra 7, which is coming soon to mobiles, and this is our SIG 226. So, what we're making is a hammer-fired slide cycling semi-automatic kind of smaller caliber. Let's say it's a 9mm handgun. So with all that in mind, I'll open up Audacity. If you guys don't have Audacity, it's a wicked free program. I use it pretty much for all my audio stuff. When I do my gun sound effects, I always start with a gun pack. I bought this one, EFX, the Ultimate Weapon, a long time ago. I don't know, I think it was $200-$300, something like that, but I don't know how to make a gunshot from scratch. I use this audio pack, and I'll show you my process with what I do with everything. So go through. That was actually a nice starting sound. So I'll just go through, keep the gun I have in mind and what it should sound like when I'm going through these. That I already like, so I'm going to click and drag that into Audacity. Let's go through. I like to stack my sound effects, so I'll go through and find a few that I like. Kind of stack them on top. That's kind of cool. Throw that in. It doesn't necessarily mean I'll use every single one of them, but any that kind of suit what I'm going for, I'll throw it in and work from there. Okay. All right. You can probably tell that I didn't quite plan this out. I'm just sort of winging it as I go. So hopefully you guys bear with me. That was nice. I like that. We'll keep that. Because game design is a lot of trial and error, in my opinion. You just got to kind of wing some stuff sometimes. So you guys are getting to see that raw process happen as I go. Okay, that I like. That can work. So once I have a few sound effects stacked on top of each other, I'll show you how I make the sound effects work with these. But one thing I like to keep or add in, sorry guys, this is like the third take of trying to make this happen, so hopefully this one works. I'm a little bit brain dead on the whole process, but anyway, when I'm making gunshot sounds, I like to think of what the gun is doing, right? So since we have a hammer fire pistol, and if you go frame by frame, doesn't really show it in here, but you know the hammer's dropping, the hammer's hitting the firing pin ignites the bullet. So there's a split second of click where that hammer drops, tink, has to drop in to engage the firearm. So with that in mind, I like going through my sound pack and finding those metallic kind of sounds that emphasize what the gun action is doing. So this sound effect pack doesn't really have nice names labeled out, but it does come with a little list. So let's look through here. What we're looking for is a hammer. So I'm keeping my eyes peeled for hammer. Hammer. There we go, hammer. Let's see, 3. Got 3. Hammer back's not what we want because that's like a click. We want a tink. So that hammer's dropping hard, right? So let's go 03, 5. Let's see what that sounds like. Pack 3, sound 5. Yes. Very nice. So add that to our file. So now we kind of got the basic elements to make this work. So let's get to work. So that hammer dropping sound effect, I'll solo it out so we just have that. That's going to be really nice. I'm going to amplify it just a little bit. I allow for clipping. I know clipping is like a big no-no, but for gunshots, I find that it kind of works. Like it makes it sound more powerful. So this is going to be a super fast, crisp sound. So I'm going to get rid of the tail end, because when the gunshot starts about here, so this is going to start before the gunshot sound even begins. It'll give you like a split second little click before the gunshot happens. But I'm going to get rid of the last tail end of it so that the sound effects don't kind of clash together. So I'll bring this gunshot sound back in. Okay, we can work with that. I like my gunshots to be really punchy, so I get rid of some of that middle stuff. I'm gonna amplify just a bit. Okay, good start. So this is gonna be our, if I solo this one, this is kind of our punchy low end sound. Low as in like the bass sound of this whole thing. I love these, but I don't want the sounds to clash too much. So what I'm gonna do is allow this one to fade in a little bit. I'll go to about there. Effect fade in. So it's just gonna be the tail end of that thunder. The thunder of this gunshot sound. So let's amplify him a bit. And next up we have this sound effect. So this is nice. Gonna amplify him a little bit. I always amplify my sound effects because gunshots are fucking loud, my friends. Okay. And now this guy. Let's solo him. I like this one a lot. So all I'm doing is hitting Command R or Control R. That redoes the last effect you used, which is amplify. So I'm just amplifying that. Get rid of some of the crunch in the middle. Okay. Not too bad. Let's add him in. So, sorry, not him. We'll add our low and our initial crunch. Cool. Not too bad, my friends. I'm going to get rid of a little bit more of that tail end. A little punchier. Okay. I'm going to fade this in a bit more. Let's see what this sound adds. This one I don't like as much, but I put it in there because I did like the sound of it, so I'm just going to play it on its own. I'm going to solo it. Yeah, okay, so I like the tail end of this one, right? So get rid of all the meat and get the tail end added, kind of timed properly with the rest of our sounds. That's nice. Add this in. Nice. Okay. Just gonna turn it up a bit. So this is quite nice. I might have overclipped him a little bit. Let's see if I can get rid of. Here, what I'll do is I'll find this sound. So 0101, what is it? 010101. Owen, Owen, Owen. So we'll go find Owen, Owen, Owen. That's not the right one. Owen, Owen, Owen. Whoa, there we go. Okay. Kind of like 2 a little better. Let's use 2. So now he's at the bottom. We'll just move it above our hammer so we know kind of our order. Whoa. It's a miracle. There we go. So I'm just playing with the timing a little bit. I'll add a lot of empty space. And I'll just delete a little bit at a time. Until I start to like where it's heading. A little delayed. Almost. Okay, that's nice and punchy. So let's amplify, but not too much this time. Just a little bit. Let's do 1 at a time. Let's go 1. Okay, I like. Hopefully you guys like 2. Next up. All right, so let's see. When I'm pretty happy with how everything's sounding, then I do my cleanup. So I'll take a bit of this sound. I'm going to drop down the sound on that one because obviously you guys can see that these 2 sounds are going to hit hard on top of each other. So I just took a little bit of the sound away from this section here that this sound effect would be playing, right? So we added in our bass. Okay, and this guy, I forget what, this was our tail end. So we're going to copy paste our tail end onto, okay, I didn't need to do that. Let's leave it there and just move it down. Move track down so that we can kind of align it visually. Wonder if yeah. Let's say it can come about here. So it's a little early. So I'll just copy paste some dead sound. That's quite nice. You know what the drill is. Amplify. Since it's our tail end, we don't need too much super loud sounds at the beginning. So we'll fade them in. Okay. Amplify a little bit more. Get some sound out of this guy. Again, this harsh stuff will fade her in. Okay. Fingers crossed. All right, so not bad, but if you guys are hearing what I'm hearing, there's kind of like this annoying cricket sound in the beginning, like this really high-pitched click, and that's going to be our hammer. So let's see if we can play with that. And I want to drop all the gunshot sound effects back in time. So you select them all, delete them all equally. I think they're still playing a little late. Not bad. Not too bad. Okay. I'm going to let our tail end play a little bit later. And our bass to come in earlier. Okay. So this bass sound, let's talk about that for a second. It's quite powerful, but it can be drowned out by all the other sounds. I'm going to amplify it a bit. And I'm going to leave it right in the center. And I'm going to let my main sounds go to the left and to the right of it. It's going to add some depth, but it'll also give that bass sound some room to stay alive in the sound effects so nothing's clashing over top of it. So it's not too bad. Let's add our tail back in. Cool. It's not bad, my friends. Let's see without that. Okay. Sounds a little better with the hammer out. But I know that when I do the hammers properly, I'll show you the sound effect I did create beforehand for Tier 7. So this is an example of a hammer pistol that I've done before. It's much louder, beefier. So if it's been done before, it can be done again. Let's figure out this hammer issue that we're having here, boys. It's not bad. All right, if we're not sure, I kind of like it. If we're not sure, we're gonna export it real quick. Let's just leave it on the desktop. And we'll try it with our gun animation. And we'll see if the stars align. Did I even name that thing? I think it's this. Yeah, it's that. So we're gonna pick the frame, add them in. Nope, she sucks. So let's try getting rid of the hammer. And I think it's a little too punchy. It has not enough oomph behind it. So we'll go find our same sound effect that we're kind of using for the main one. So that's the same as this sound here. So we're gonna almost match them up, and then we're gonna take a little bit less off. Take a little off the middle, maybe a little off the tail end. We'll get rid of this one, do what we did before. We'll pan it a little bit. We'll amplify it. Let's just do one again. Yes, much better. Okay, again, I like my hammers. So let's see, what was it, 5? Was it 5? 5-2, okay. So 5-2. Yeah, 5-3. Okay. Add him back in. I can make this work, I promise. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, too much going on. Let's do that. There, not bad. Cool. All right, now for the fun part. We gain our gunshot sounds just enough. Which one's this? Let's D-solo and re-solo. So that's our tail end. I can definitely have a little more volume to it. Not amplify, sorry. We're kind of amplifying with our gain already, so I'm not going to amplify. I'm just going to fade it in. Okay, we'll leave that. I'm going to let this punch in with the sound. See if that lines up. Yeah, that lines up with our gunshot here. You can see the marker. So when you click, it kind of shows you your alignment. that lines up with our main shot sound, so that's good. Still a little high pitch for my liking, so yeah, that's our high pitch sound. So let's take that and let's change the PITCH to -3. Almost. Yes, -5. So it changes our timing a little bit. Let's see if it works. I like. I might not like that. Yeah, it sounds better without that tail end. So guess what? Peace. She's gone. Let's see. Nice. Not too bad. Let's add some. Okay. Let's export. Now, one thing I want to point out, guys, is yeah, we'll just keep the same name so we can replace it. Okie dokie, okie dokie, okie dokie, okie dokie. One thing I want to point out, guys, is I'm doing this quite fast, and if I do say so myself, very skilled and beautifully and effortlessly. I've done this a million times. Game development is a tedious, nitty-gritty process where you kind of just have to learn your workflow. You have to work through not knowing what you're doing and get to a point where you've done it so many times that you look like you know what you're doing, and then you can make videos and share them with people. So even though I look like I'm doing this kind of effortlessly, like I said, this is the third time I've done this today. So yeah, I'm getting quite used to this, but I mean, I take my time. You guys will take your time. It's just art. You just keep going, get better and better. Enough talking. Let's see how the sound effect turns out. So that's not bad. I mean, there's a few things I would tweak on it. It's still sounding a little high pitched to me, so I'd lower the pitch. Let's see how long this record's going. Okay, we're at over 20 minutes, so I'm going to cut it short. But eventually, that's literally all I do is I play around with the timing. So I'll move things back and forth. I'll change pitches. I'll amplify. I'll de-amplify. And I'll stack sounds until I get the sound that I want. Sometimes it takes 10 minutes. Sometimes it takes 2 hours. But the end result, I mean, let's see here. Sound design. Created guns. The end result usually comes out pretty good. Here's an AK. Nice and punchy. Here's a 357. It's a beast. Here's Desert Eagle. Of course, it's a cannon. Let's see. So the SIG that is used for SIG. It's that guy there. Let's throw him in and see how that goes. Okay, it sounds like crap because of the audio settings, but you get the idea. With that process and a little bit of practice, you guys can make some really, really sick sound effects. So I hope you liked it. This is a new thing I'm doing. I'm doing game development. I'm calling them game dev tip videos. This is game dev tip number 3, which is what we're doing right now. There'll be number 4, number 5. I'm going to keep them going. I'm going to take suggestions from you guys. So if you want to vote for the next game dev tip, let me know in the comments. Let me know on Facebook. Let me know on Instagram. Everywhere you can find me is SHD Games. Again, I'm Simon Hayson. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I hope to see you guys soon. Later.